Today had all the promise and potential to be the perfect, productive Monday. However, this is me cracking open a bottle of red. Not a celebratory cracking open of a bottle of red, but frustrated, annoyed at myself. Monday started really well, mainly because I'd made some flipping effort for a change. Well, not for a change, but I've started making effort again with my outfits, and it does make a huge difference. Tell you what else makes a difference: getting up at a decent time. I'd set an alarm this morning, got up at a decent time, and it made so much difference. As does opening the curtains and letting the light in, as does writing a list for the day, which is what I'd done this day, hence why I'm currently laying out all my wedding boxes for my wedding couples, because on the list I needed to send my wedding boxes out. So I'm sorting out all the prints and all the bits and bobs, and I'm feeling on top of Monday already. In fact, dare I say, I was feeling pretty smug. When I feel overwhelmed and anxious, I really struggle to prioritise my workload. I don't write lists, and I don't really consider what needs doing in what order. All I tend to do is edit. That's the only thing I do in my life, editing, when I'm struggling. I don't look at anything else, no other aspects of my life, which means that my flat and my life and my shop ends up looking a complete tip. I often find it way too easy to wake up and put sweats on, especially if I'm working in the shop on my own. But I've done two days in a row now of getting up and flipping making an effort, and it makes so much difference. So this is today's outfit. I'm really enjoying it, although this hem needs repairing. Maybe don't look at that. Squeezed in a quick breakfast meeting with a client. I'm just on my way to my accountant's, which I find pretty terrifying because, by the way, I'm interrupting this broadcast just to let you know that I'm sat stationary in my car and I'm not driving. I'm going to go and sign off all my books and stuff and be like, yeah, it's great. I do have a feeling that they'll turn around to me and be like, you're not very good at running a business. Just like irrational fears. Anyway, I'm on my way to my accountant's. I do feel like I haven't really achieved much today because I had a coffee meeting this morning about a shoot, to be fair. And I don't know, I just feel today like I'm drifting through the day. I've not really ticked much off the list. So I'm going to go to my accountant's meeting and then I'm going to come back to the shop and then I'm going to turn everything off. This is what I often do, and do like a power hour times 2. So I have to do a power hour where I turn off my phone, I turn everything off, put music in and set an alarm for an hour's time and don't do anything except highly focused work. I'm going to do that, but times 2. And I think that's going to make me feel better about my day. Moment to appreciate the interior design of my accountant's office, which I absolutely wasn't dressed for, and my shoes needed a clean. So the great news was I came back from my meeting with my accountant feeling really uplifted and really positive, because the meeting was very uplifting, very positive, surprisingly so, thus proving my fears of accountants are completely irrational. My friend Katie invited me tonight to go to yoga. I'm wearing these minging glasses again to edit in. Okay, now I can't see. Which would have been the obvious choice in terms of self-care and being kind to myself and all that stuff. But I've done hardly any work today and I'm so behind on editing. It is absolutely insane. And whilst it's all very well and good that I'm making time to tidy and clean and sort out things like the bedroom, which obviously has an amazing impact on my mental health and everything like that, I also need to deliver people's flipping weddings to them. And really, that needs to be my priority. So I've told Katie that I'm not going to make yoga because at the end of the day, once I've delivered all my weddings and I've got no work left for the season, I'm not just going to not do any work. I'm going to do marketing, hopefully. I can go to all the yoga classes that I want. Keep wobbling the camera. So I'm making dinner tonight for Dan and I think I'm going to run and put some dinner on and then just leave it cooking, and then whilst it's cooking, come back down, and then I'll work late. It's a really nice sky outside, sunset vibes. It's 10 to 6 now. I could do like 3 more hours of work. By the way, if you're thinking that the picture on this screen looks like loads of bums, you would be correct. I normally don't do photos like this at all. They're usually way more candid, but this was like a bit of a jokey request from the bride, so I just went with it. So what I actually ended up doing was I worked another hour or so on editing, and then I had a wedding consultation with a couple, chatting about their wedding plans and seeing if they want to book me. Then I went upstairs and made dinner, had a glass of wine, and had another glass of wine, and didn't end up coming back down to continue editing. Just before I tell you about how I felt about the fact that I failed at my plan to continue editing, I am going to take a moment to tell you about this onion chopper because it's one of the best things I own. Dan hates my onion chopper. No word of a lie. He thinks it's an absolute waste of time. He's wrong. It's not. It's incredible. Every time I chop onions, it used to absolutely destroy my eyeballs and my eyes would cry a river. However, that's not meant to happen. I broke the onion chopper. Oh, do you know what? Not achieving my list, not going back downstairs to edit, but this was the real low point of the day. However, to be honest, I did find it pretty hilarious having to pull bits of plastic out of the onion. And anyway, stuff like this is hilarious. Like, you just have to laugh it off, don't you? I'm going to be honest, which is ironic based on what I'm about to say, but one of the things I'm really struggling with this whole project is being honest about my failures and my downfalls and things that I struggle with, which is ridiculous because the whole point of this is to document my day-to-day and monitor it and hold myself accountable and come up with like a master plan of things that really help me and things that hinder me regarding how to have a 10 out of 10 day or week or life. But if I was to be honest, at the moment I'm struggling with doing 8, 10, 12-hour days of work and editing, which is something I used to do quite a lot, and I'm on lots of photography groups and see lots of people commenting about how they've been up all night editing into the wee small hours, and I'm just not doing that, and I'm really behind on everything and it's stressing me out. So yeah, here I am pouring a glass of wine, feeling really frustrated at myself, but the fact is I've tried again, and that's all I need to do consistently. Try every day. So tomorrow's a new day. Anyway, this is why list writing is so useful and so valuable, because you just write everything down, you work through it. It's basically like giving yourself Lego instructions for your day. I haven't written a list for myself for a day in months. I used to write a list every day. So this is a really good habit that I know that I want to re-establish, because I know how much of a massive difference it makes. It is insane. So today's list contained tiny tasks, but also editing, but also quite a few meetings. So it was bound to be a busy day. I had high hopes that it was going to be a really productive one as well.